Hello and welcome to part 2 of my DVD/Blu-ray collection. I have tried recording this before, but my light died and I just decided to scrap it and start from the start because, yeah, I just thought it's better that way. So, I have got, actually, since I tried recording the second part, so this part, I actually got a few extra, DVDs and Blu-rays, so I'm just going to include them into this collection. I'm also moving in a month's time, so I thought no better time than to make this video and to go over the collection because I won't be able to display even more of my collection when I move. But yeah, this is going to be fun, so let's just get straight into it because I don't think there's any time wasting. Should I also say, so this is 4 different shelves. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4. This one has my diploma and vinyls, so not much going on here. Below, we do have a few DVDs that you can't see, and then above here we've got 2 layered, basically shelves like this one with DVDs. I also do have DVDs that sit in here because there's that lack of room since I've started collecting stuff. So I just took them all out here. It's a good pile, and we're gonna go through them. Yeah, they're all the ones that sit. So we're gonna start off with some of the ones that I'm refusing. Sorry. You might be wondering, why is your hair always wet when you're recording these? This just happens to be the day I wash my hair. Enough, all right? We don't need to get into that, okay? I just wanted to clear some, yeah. Okay, so first of all, you have another Twilight New Moon. Oh my God, what is wrong with you? It was 50p in CEX. I went to Derry a few weeks ago, and I went to the CEX as I always do. That's like sort of the thing. You go to a new place, you go to the CEX. And the reason I bought this one, and New Moon is my least favorite, but the reason I got it was actually because it's red. It's like this red, will it focus? It's like this red sort of see-through case. And I just thought it looked cool. And it was 50p, so I got it. I don't want to get too much into it. Next, we have the steel case of Warhorse. I didn't actually own this yet. Oh yeah, and sorry for the glare of the light. It's just it's very dark in this part of my room because my window's over there. And it's just really dark, and these lenses have terrible, terrible light. But yeah, steel case of Warhorse. There was no particular reason why I got the steel case. It was like £3.50. I love Warhorse. Everyone forgets, I think, that Spielberg, directed this film. It's just one of those. It's kind of like Castaway, where it's just one of those ideas that once it's done, it's really hard to replicate because this has just been done so perfectly. I think it's based on the Michael Morpurgo book, Warhorse. I'm pretty sure, but it's a great film. No, again, it was just because it was a steel case is why I got it. There was no other reason. And then another one that I picked up in Derry was The Hurt Locker, which we did view in for sound design in university. Next, we got the Angelina Jolie film Gia, which is based on the first ever really popular supermodel in America. So that's kind of what this is based on. It's a good film, for the queers as well. Great. Next we got is one of the many versions of War of the Worlds I have. I bought this one because I thought it was a different version. Turned out not to be. I just didn't bother returning it. Now it's just part of my collection. So yeah, it's got this cover. You'll see the other one at some point. It's the actual more recognizable one. Next we got actually Sicario. Hey, it's actually black as well, which I didn't realize as well. I probably picked it up because it was a good offer. It's a good film. I don't actually remember too much of it, but Emily Blunt was in it, so that's why I got it. Next, we have a very cool edition of Hulk. Not that I'm a massive, Marvel or Avengers fan, but this was only a couple of pounds on eBay, and it's literally, look at this. It's pretty cool, and if you open it up, which, if I remember how to do that, actually, I don't want to get into the whole thing, but if you open up, it's got, layers, so it's got, first of all, it's actually got the actual DVD that's, shiny, and then it's got, the comic book in it, and then you lift that and it's got another booklet and another special features DVD. It was a couple bucks. Thought it was really cool. I did grow up watching this version of the film though. Next I just got recently as a present the film Nobody. It's actually one of the better action films that have ever existed. Sorry again, the glare is kind of hard, but yeah, I haven't unwrapped it yet. I don't really have an obsession with keeping them in wrappers, but there are a few I've just never bothered to unwrap because unless I'm going to go watch them, I'm just going to keep them in wrappers until that day comes. Next we got my favorite Jackie Chan film, was his Jackie Chan Robin B. Hood. It's not the best translation of the title. It is a Cantonese film. It was filmed in Hong Kong. I think it's really underrated. It's the only Jackie Chan film where he plays an antagonist, actually. So, fun fact. Next, we got Heat with, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer. This is kind of like one of the things that kind of inspired Killing Eve, but it's kind of like the male version of it. Whatever that means, I don't know. Next, we got the film Shawshank Redemption, and it is the special edition that comes with the script. So again, I'll just open it to show you, but you got the DVD, you got the script behind it. Very cool. Basically, I managed to avoid spoilers for Shawshank Redemption. Knew I needed to go see it. It was playing in the cinema a few months ago, and I saw it for the first time in the cinema and absolutely loved it. My hair's not cooperating. Next, we got just a special, the Ultimate Mummy Collection. I love the Mummy series. Well, the first two, which is, this doesn't have the third one, because the third one, nobody talks about it. I don't even consider it part of this. I saw it again CX. I thought it was really cool. It's got like this slip cover, and then it just switches what like you can see. I thought it was pretty cool. It's missing some things, but that's okay. We're not going to get too much into it. And we got this really cool DVD of the Cate Blanchett film Elizabeth. Never seen this film, but when I saw it in CX, I thought it looked kind of weird and different to normal DVDs, because like a clear case, right? But it's got like DVD along here, and then when you open it, which you have to press down here to open it, the actual front cover is a booklet, so you can actually, let's see if I can, I can actually like take it out, which is just great. If all DVDs did that, that'd be really cool. So yeah, that's why I picked this up. It was like £1. So now that we've done, need to move these out the way because we're about to get into the depths of the collection. So now that I've went through this, we can actually start going through the shelf. So first DVD on the shelf, is Narnia. Absolutely love Narnia. I grew up watching it, so obviously I own it on DVD. The first one is the best, obviously. I know that there's a second and third one, but the second one is a much darker version of like what Narnia was. And it does have, I love the introduction and them on the island again, but the rest of the film really drags on, and the bad guy is just not as cool as the first Narnia. Next, we got the Enchanted film. If anyone's seen Enchanted 2, which I did, I was excited when they released it, but then I couldn't even finish watching because it was that bad. Then we got Diary of the Wimpy Kid, 1, 2, and 3 in one. So, funny thing, right? When you collect DVDs, you always have this question of, should you own the DVDs in separate formats? So have like, the 3 different films with the poster, cover art and all that, or should you just get basically a collection? And I know this is not the only thing, like this is also applies to music and to video games. Why do I sound like I'm like 40 years old when I say video games? I could just say games. But the thing about the Diary of the Wimpy Kid is whenever I got this, I was like really young. I was like probably 13 or 14 maybe. No, yeah, something like that. So like we got this while I was on holiday, and to be honest, I love all 3 of these films. They're all so great in their own little way. But I couldn't, at this point I don't think I'd get separate ones. I don't know why I went on a tangent there about that. I just thought it made sense. We got a Christmas film. That's not a Christmas film. The Edward Scissorhands. I always forget that Johnny Depp's in it. Like, it's dumb but not. Wow, it's a Pixar classic. Ratatouille, definitely one of my favorite, if not the favorite Pixar film. But it's just really hard to choose. There's not much to say about it apart from obviously, it's beloved by everyone. I was like wondering what's shaking inside, and it's like this like paper thingy, so I thought it was kind of cool. No, not gonna focus. That's fine. We don't need to get into that. Next we got season 1 of Killing Eve. So I know that you can get like Killing Eve finished airing like a few years ago now, or maybe just a few years ago I think. So when I first saw it, watching it was like 2020 or 2021. No, it was 2020. I don't remember. I actually don't remember. But anyway, season 3 had just finished airing and binge watched it, and I bought the first 2 seasons because they were the only ones available. So at some point you're gonna see it. But yeah, no, it's great. I wanted to own it on DVD, and I don't own a lot of TV shows on DVD. Like I really don't, because they're quite expensive, and a lot of the time TV shows now are available on streaming services, the likes of like Killing Eve, I think you get on Disney Plus and Netflix, and also on BBC. So yeah, I mean, obviously this includes 15 minutes of bonus content, which I haven't really explored yet, but I think I watched it online anyways. We have one of the two of Quentin Tarantino films that I've seen, Inglourious Basterds. This is great cinema, you know, it's a great film, you know, one that you should go watch. Next we have Julie and Juliet with Meryl Streep and Amy Adams. It's one of those films that's just like kind of like wholesome and stuff. It also comes in a pink cover and it's still got like the CX label on it, because I think it was really hard to take them off. My favorite Princess Diaries film, Princess Diaries 2. But beside it, we got the first Princess Diaries, which isn't terrible, but 2 is just superior. Next, we got a cool film called Son of Saul, which I really, really recommend. It takes place in the Holocaust, but it kind of tells the Holocaust story a bit differently, because it really emphasizes the sounds to sort of expand or build the world, you know, that the character is in. Again, we studied this for sound specifically. So after we watched it in university, I knew I wanted to pick up the copy for myself. Next, we have Cyrano, which was, again, it came out in 2022, I think. I saw it twice. Here's the thing. So it's a Joe Wright film, right? So Atonement, The Duchess, Anna Katerina. No. Let's not get back into this, because I'm pretty sure I said it wrong last time. But basically, it is some of the most beautiful cinematography ever. And the story's okay. Like, the story's genuinely really okay. There's nothing there to really say, but I loved the main actress in it. What's her name? What's her name? Haley Bennett. Such a great. So if you like musicals, definitely still recommend it. But if you also like cinematography, there's some great stuff there. Next, we got Kate Winslet, The Reader. I actually never finished this film, and yet I have it on DVD. I think it was just easy for me to pick up, so I did. Next, we got such a great film, The Mask of Zorro. Nobody talks about this film. You know, Antonio Banderas, Catherine Zeta-Jones. Like, this is a great film. It's almost like a 90s pop culture thing as well. I don't think, the second one on DVD, which I definitely do need to get, because I like both of them. If anything, I actually think I like the second one better, because Catherine Zeta-Jones is more in it. Next, we got Whiplash. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on Whiplash, because everyone will always say this, oh my god, Whiplash. I get it. It's in my collection. I've seen it. It's a good film. Okay, but let's calm down. Next, we got The Road. You know, The Road is one of those apocalyptic films I really wanted to like, but I tried watching it twice and I've still not finished it. And I think I just, again, picked it up because I was like, okay, I'm going to finish it one day. I just haven't yet, and I'm hoping to one day. I love apocalyptic films, which is why I really wanted to like it. A film in its wrapper, but it's a refurbished one from Poundland at the time, when Poundland still did DVDs. Happy Gilmore. This is a great film. It's a great comedy. It's probably my favorite Adam Sandler film, because it actually, I think, is one of the only films where he plays a more in-depth character than just himself. But maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe he just plays a more angry version of himself. Next, we got Mermaids with Cher, would you believe it or not, and Winona Ryder. Again, one I saw when I was growing up, and it took me years to remember what it was, years to sort of be like, oh my god, it's this film. Have you seen it? I do like this film, though, and it's definitely one I recommend to see, because it's a good coming-of-age, slice-of-life, funny film that really like looks in depth on like the mother-daughter relationship and stuff. It's a wholesome one, and it's a comedy, so it's funny. Next, we got a film that's way overrated, Parasite. Okay, so let me paint the picture for you. 2019, Parasite comes out. All the Western side of the world is losing their minds on this Korean masterpiece, except me, because I've already been watching Asian cinema for years. So when I see Parasite, I'm like, what was the hype? And I come to realize it's because Westerners, you know, especially regular people who wouldn't indulge in the beauty of Asian cinema, you know, or at least that Eastern Asian cinema, wouldn't understand that this is like one of those films where what they talk about, what they discuss, is actually depicted in so many other Asian films, because it's such a big part of their, you know, countries, where it's to do with socialism. I think that's the word. If I'm wrong, don't make fun of me, but like the social class system, basically. I would never recommend this to anyone. Like, if you want to see it, sure. I'm glad what it did. You know, I'm really happy for Bong Joon-ho, or yeah. But I couldn't say it's fantastic or it's amazing. I mean, yeah, sure. As I said, hey, right, next, again, in Rapper, it's not brand new though. It's The Prince of Egypt from DreamWorks. Absolutely amazing. DreamWorks makes such great films. Grew up watching it, still watch it now. Next we got my favorite documentary of all time that I had to own on my DVD. And I think this is the only documentary that I actually own on DVD, which is Red Army. It was on Netflix for a little bit. This is how I first discovered it in school. It was like we're doing a history exam or on JFK, and we needed to learn a bit more about the Soviets. So we ended up going with this documentary, and it was such like a hidden gem thing that whenever we all started watching, we're like, we did not expect this to be this good, because it's about the Red Army hockey team, but it's so much more than just about hockey. It's not like, oh, it's a sports documentary. It is, but it also gives you such a good insight on the Soviets, you know, the late Soviets before they, you know, changed. And then on the last thing we got here on the is Bound. Amazing. June's coming to an end now very soon. When I did the first part, it was still like the start of June or something. So yeah, I definitely would say that this walked so that Love Lies Bleeding could run. I saw that as a review on Letterboxd, so I'm not going to take credit. We need to push this out of the way because we have to continue. So next we got Tim Burton classic, The Nightmare Before Christmas. People who tattoo themselves with The Nightmare Before Christmas stuff, give me the ick, okay? You gotta stop doing that. It's way overdone. Next we got The Simpsons movie. So The Simpsons movie and the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, like the first one, they're the best adaptations of like cartoon, adult, not really SpongeBob, but sort of like adult cartoon TV shows, like period. Like this genuinely is a phenomenal film. Even if you've never seen The Simpsons, and if you have seen The Simpsons, this is just such an appreciation of so many characters and stuff. Like, I'm just really impressed with it. Next, we have an old film called Lover Come Back. So, you know, one of the reasons I'm telling you about my collection is because I just want to nerd out. I just want to talk about stuff. And this is one of the things I'm going to talk about. So, golden age of cinema or Hollywood, they had these like rom-coms, romance films where a lot of the time, if there was an actor or an actress that were very popular, they would do multiple films together. Like, it was very common for there to be 3, 4, 5 films that they would do together. And a pairing of those is actually Doris Day, which you would know as a singer, and Rock Hudson. They did a ton of films together, I think maybe 3, which is a lot for, you know, something that isn't very commonly practiced anymore. But one of the main things that makes it hard to actually, for me to remember what this film is about, is because I watched, I think, 2 or 3 of those films. So I'm not sure which film of the plot that I remember is actually about lovers come back. So I think it's an interesting fact because it makes, sometimes I will look at these and I'll be like, I don't know. Now this says it's the Doris Day collection, but I'm like, this is probably part of like a multi-pack perhaps. It's still got the sticker on it with 150. And yeah, it's from 1961. I could read the back of it and find out what film it is, but I'm not going to. Next we got one of my favorite X-Men films. It's X-Men Origins Wolverine. This is such a good film. It gets shit on way too much. And I also have this on Blu-ray because I bought it on Blu-ray not realizing I had it on DVD, which I don't do too often. As I said, I only try and do it for like sci-fi films. Paprika, this was like one of those, so the director of this is the director from Perfect Blue and Tokyo Godfathers. I actually watched Tokyo Godfathers a few years ago during Christmas because it was on Netflix, and I absolutely loved it. I never finished it, but I definitely want to also buy it into my collection and then definitely finish it at Christmas. But Paprika, getting back to the thing that's holding my hand, I have actually not I've not seen it. I bought it to watch it, but I haven't yet. And yeah, it's one of those films where I know it's gonna like need a lot of my attention or all of my attention, so I need to like be in the right mindset for it. Next I got The Shape of the Water. This film, again, it's funny because these Academy Award-winning films, they're good. They're great, but I wouldn't rewatch this. I think I've seen it like maybe twice. Could be even wrong about that. Could have seen it once, then seen snippets throughout the other 2. It's an interesting concept, definitely. Next, we got a film I grew up watching as a kid. called Wild Hogs. My parents just downloaded it on a DVD, and I remember enjoying the dynamic between the four guys and stuff. So yeah, pretty cool. Should rewatch it actually. It comes in this like sort of like holographic cover sleeve. Next we got this film called Quarantine. Now, so again, I don't remember exactly. There's an American version and the original Spanish version, which I think is actually called Rec, so like record. I'm not sure which version this is, and I'm not even trying to remember. But yeah, I have it because it's zombies, and I like zombies. Ew, no, not ew. I mean, ew, but in the best way possible. Walking on Sunshine, a collection of 80 songs, and this is the sing-along edition. I've seen this film once. On my standards of like this to Mamma Mia, this is garbage. But you know what? It's beautiful garbage, and it's in my collection. I don't think I'll ever rewatch it though. I'm gonna grab these out together. Shit. I'm gonna grab these out together. Kill Bill 1 and 2. I bought these with the intentions of watching them. I have yet to watch them. Alright, stop falling over. Next we got the first Nanny McPhee. I grew up watching this, but the second one was way better, so we will see that in a second. A very weird packaging of Gone Girl. I swear to God, I've never seen Gone Girl packaged in any other way but this way, where it's a paper thing. It's weird. I've seen tons of these in CX, and I've not actually seen the film, but I know the twist, and I think there's other films that do the same twist. So noisy. Next we got Nikita. This is one of my granny's favorite films, so it's why I bought it. It kind of, cool. I forgot the word I'm looking for. I don't know. I'm speaking very fast today. I don't know why. I think it's because we're 22 minutes in, but like I've not even finished the first shelf. I've got still like quite a bit to look through. But next we got Nikita. It's a French film. It's a bit of fun. There was an American TV show remake that was absolute garbage. So that's what that's based on. Next we got is Nanny McPhee, the second one. Yeah, this film was great. On so many levels, this film was great. Better than the first one. And the acting of the kids is amazing in that one. Next we got Scooby-Doo, The Mystery Begins. Hayley Kiyoko. So I don't know, is this a queer film shout out? No, it's not. I thought it'd be funny to say that though. This film's not as bad. Like, I genuinely remember it being good, so I think that's why I bought it, because I was like, hey, I grew up watching this. I thought it was pretty good. It shows how the Scooby-Doo gang formed. Yeah, so much. Next we got, so this is the funny thing. So I bought this collection because at the time when I was like into Wong Kar-wai, I bought Wong Kar-wai films, and this came up, like 3 of these films came up, and they're based on, I think Wong Kar-wai either like produced it or he was somehow part of this, but he never directed them or made these. So I haven't watched it. I should watch it, because I bought it. But yeah, it's the Wong Kar-wai Jet Tone collection. So I don't know too much about it. Next is actually very just cool DVD. So Where the Wild Things Are. I didn't watch this as a kid, but I know that people who did watch this as a kid ended up like quite scarred. It's actually quite a scary movie. I watched this when I was like 18, 19, and I was like, bro, this is scary. How are kids supposed to watch this? But what I really like about this DVD is that, as you can see, it's gold, and it just looks so nice in terms of like, it's so fitting. And you know what? The concept's really cool, and it is a bit scary, but I think that's kind of the point of it. Next we got a film I grew up watching again, because of Winn-Dixie. I love this film. It was so heartwarming to watch. I think you can see it on Disney Plus now, actually. And then we've got The Steal. I don't know why I knocked it to prove to you guys. I have no reason to lie that this is a steel case of the Mummy trilogy. So yeah, it's got all 3. It was really cheap, which is why I got it, because again, I don't have much of a liking for steel cases. I think they're way too overpriced. There's no real want for me to have necessarily a big M. And next we got a really good British film called Run Fat Boy Run. This is actually a great film, fun fact, directed by Ross from Friends. It's really funny because it's a British film with British actors, but directed by the most random person you could possibly think. And it is a great film. It is a great film, and it's one of the reasons why I like British cinema so much. Okay, next we've got the rest of the collection. I'm actually just going to bring it down because I obviously want to be able to go through without having to constantly be reaching forward. So I'm just going to quickly grab a few of these down here. Right, so let's go. So we've got the okay, so we've got basically the special extended the extended special edition of Gladiator. I love the Gladiator film. It's a work of art. And I know I said this about a lot of films, but that's because there are a lot of work of art films, but this is definitely one of them. I do own Gladiator. Do I own Gladiator? Yes, I own Gladiator on normal disc. Fun fact, because I think this is a fun fact, years ago, like 2010, 2009, probably 2010, if you know the shop Lidl, right, there's Aldi. So Lidl is basically a version of Aldi. Aldi or Lidl, basically the same thing, right? So in my country, it's Lidl. And Lidl were doing this beer promo, where if you bought a case of like 12 cans of a certain beer in the shop, you could like write into the people and get one or two DVDs for free. When I saw this offer, I went to my father, you need to buy the beer so I can get the DVD. And my dad, being a very nice man, was like, okay. And he bought the 12-pack, and obviously I was allowed to choose 2 DVDs. One of the DVDs I chose was Gladiator. The second one I chose was the 2005 King Kong film. I don't know what little Amelia was thinking because I was genuinely like 98 years old, but I bought both of them and loved them so much. So yeah, this one isn't the version I'm talking about, by the way. This is a version I got in Newry a few years ago when we were there at CEX, and it was a few pound, and it's cool. And if I show you, it's got like his face, and then it's got him on the back. It's just cool. So yeah. Next we got one of my favorite romance films, actually, called Equals. It was one of the films that actually this is the first film that I watched without needing like my autistic compulsory to watch a film that I've already seen for like comfort reasons. So I bit the bullet, watched this film without knowing anything about it, apart from that it's a romance, and was pleasantly surprised. And from then on, I've now got shelves full of DVDs, so we've got this film to thank. But you know what? This is a romance sci-fi film, and I think it's pretty good. It's got Kristen Stewart in it, playing a straight woman. But this was back in 2015, so it was still like, okay, that makes sense. But regardless of that fact, it's still a great film. I really don't have much to complain about it, apart from maybe the ending, like the third act, probably. Next we got is Hairspray. I've not finished this film yet. This is the remake, not the original one. But I do need to watch it. And I did start watching it, just never finished it. Oh my god, it's Imagine Me and You. British film, a lesbian film, a queer film, perfect for June. Perfect for any time of the year, honestly. But it is good. And I've watched it a few times, and I kind of want to rewatch it. Next we got this Chocolat. It's Johnny Depp, and I forgot this actress's name. But it's a good film, great soundtrack. Not much else to say. I watched it once. Where the Crawdads Sing is one of these rare romance films that have come out in the past few years that have actually been good. And I saw it in the cinema, and I was very surprised at the ending. Thought the ending was actually pretty good. And yeah, I got it as a present, and now it's in my collection. Next, we've got Penelope. I grew up watching this, had to get a DVD of it. This is just one of those, like, yes, it's a teenager kid film, but it's so much more than that. I do recommend it. It's kind of like a telling of Beauty and the Beast. Next we got, again, the same thing with Diary and the Whipping Kid, which is 3 films in one. It's the Naked Gun trilogy. These are my favorite comedy films of all time. The cheapest way to get them is in this trilogy pack, unfortunately. My favorite one of these, though, is definitely probably the second one, but it's called Second and a Half we reached our maximum recording time on this camera again. So yeah, this is my favorite one. I need to kind of hurry because I don't want this to be too long. Next, we got Water for the Elephants. You know what? Young Amelia watched this. Young Amelia thought this was good. Looking back on it now, not sure this is great. It's Reese Witherspoon and Robert Pattinson. It's all right. Next we've got, let's actually do this. So I've got randomly 3 like Blu-ray things. So we've got the 4K Ultra HD edition of War of the Worlds. I meant it when I told you that I own War of the World in every single format possible. Actually not every single one, because there's a format that I will end up showing you, I think, in either part 3 or 4 of this. But yeah, no, I bought this brand new because I don't think it's easy to get it used. But yeah, I will watch it in 4K one day when I have a 4K TV and 4K DVD player, because I do not at the moment. Then I've got the other 4K film, which I got as a present. It's Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I did watch this film. I do like the whole cartoon and real world like style. So yeah. And then we've got a very weird film, but it's actually Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. This is such a weird film. Go watch it. I don't want to say anything else apart from it's so dumb. I enjoyed it. Next we got 3 Studio Ghibli films. These are kind of the whole collection thing. So we're gonna go obviously through them. We've got 1, Howl's Moving Castle, and then 2, obviously Spirited Away, which is the first film that actually got him into this whole thing. And then we got Porco Rosso, which I only seen once, but I grew up watching some of the other ones. My throat's dry. I want to drink. Oh, that water's great. Okay. Oh, I needed that. Right, we almost got through stuff. Let's keep going. So, another gay film, Vida in Virginia, which is about the storytelling of Virginia Woolf. It's not a great film, but I like the soundtrack, and it's all right for what it is. To be honest, it's all right. Then we've got, if you remember, I talked about Mostly Martha in the previous episode. This is the American remake, No Reservations, with Catherine Zeta-Jones. I do like this film, but Mostly Martha's better. Zombie film, World War Z, completely different from the book, but still good in its own way. Next we got a film I actually recently rewatched, Train to Busan. You know what? It's not as good as I remember it being. There, I said it. It's good, but it's not as good as I end up remembering it. Chicken Little. I like it. Okay, I grew up watching it. And then we've got Cleopatra. I'm going to tell you some fun facts. This is a 1960s film. It is a long freaking film. I think it's over 3 hours long. And it comes on, it comes in 2 discs. That's how long the film is. It's not like there's special features in this. But one of the films with Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, right? I know you don't know them, but let me introduce you to them. Both great actors in their own right. Both were put onto this film, cast for this film. Elizabeth Taylor playing Cleopatra, and then Richard Burton playing Mark Anthony. And so this is based on I think this is based on Cleopatra's actual story. I don't want to say bullshit. But essentially, Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton hated each other. Don't know why, I don't really remember why, but there's a first kiss scene between their characters in the film, and once they have the first kiss, they called cut, and the actors kept making out, and from then on it's history. We got 4 films from these people, and I've seen 3 of those films. So I think I've seen, I don't remember what the film's called. But yeah, I've seen 3 other films, and I don't own the other 2, but Cleopatra I own. Can I reach? Just barely. Right. Give me a minute here. Yes, you were watching me do all this. I'm not cutting this out. I don't want to have to remember cutting these out.
Yes.
I'm just gonna struggle like tremendously to get them. I hope you enjoyed the clip of me struggling there. So, let's go. So, God, I need to take some air. I'm like really speaking fast. Okay, so Narnia 2, Prince Caspian. It's not as good as the first one. I'm gonna leave it there. One of my favorite disaster films, The Day After Tomorrow. Grew up watching this. It's a good film. I like it. Next is a romance zombie film, which of course had to happen at some point, so it happened. It's Warm Bodies. Again, one of the concepts that once somebody did, you can't really do it again because unless you're gonna add some new twist to it or something, there's no point. It's an alright film. I've seen it once. I wouldn't see it again. Oh yeah. Okay, wait, no, we're gonna do this after. I'm gonna put them here. We're not gonna look at these ones just yet. Oh, okay, so... Oh, shit. Okay, so... I don't know when I bought this. It didn't come with the case. It's an old film called The Mark of Sorrow. Wait, did I call the other one The Mask of Zorro or The Mark of Zorro? Which one actually is it? I don't remember. I haven't seen this yet. Unless maybe I started watching it. I'm literally not gonna say shit. I don't remember. An old film. Teacher's Pet. Again, Doris Day, Clark Gable. This was a fun film. And I think I picked it up because it was there. It's an old film. I like Clark Gable. He's a great actor from like that era. Next, we've got a film that I bought brand new, which is Sunset Boulevard. I'm sure people have heard of this film, but just not watched it. I have heard of the film, and I haven't watched it. And bonus, I have it in my collection. I bought this one years ago. I remember it arriving with a manga I ordered on Amazon because this was like a couple of pounds. I bought it. And I just never bothered. It's one of those films with an older woman, younger man, so it's like really scandalous. And then we've got another edition of Mamma Mia. This time, it's the ultimate party edition with a dark blue slipcase. And even without the slipcase, I think, yeah, it's the same. It's the slipcase that differs it. There is tons of bonus features on this, but again, as I said, if I see a version of Mamma Mia I haven't seen yet, I will buy it. So, next we got, look, see, this is what I was telling you about. Doris Day, Rock Hudson, Pillow Talk. Again, I don't remember which is which, but there we are. We have another one. This one goes into the secret pile. Okay, so. Fun. Right. We first moved to this country from Lithuania. My parents used to go to like this Russian / Lithuanian / Polish and / Latvian store where you get foods and other things from those countries. One of the things you could, funny enough, get was DVDs for kids. And these have got such a specific smell to them. It's the plastic, I think. But, right, okay, so it's not that these films are anything special, but I was really young when we got these. Like, I was 4 or 5 years old, and, like, I think, yeah, like, the DVD is scratched. Let me see if I can get it to focus. Like, it's, there we go. Like, you can kind of see, and you can kind of, but, like, I don't know if this would play, but I had multiple of these, and I've lost them throughout the years, I think, of just, like, moving around and throwing stuff out. Because you can see in the back here, it's got like the Lithuanian flag, it's got the Latvian flag, the Estonian flag, as well as Indonesian, the Russian flag. Because you can watch them in all 3 of these languages. Yeah, it's a weird one. And then this one is in Russian. I don't speak Russian, but inside of it, it's not. Okay, it's a sad story. I had this DVD. It was actually a 2-sided DVD where you could watch on one side all these ones, and on one side all these ones. I lost it when we were on holiday, and I brought it with me, and I left it, and there was just no... I only realized when we went back, there was no chance I was going to get it back, so all I have left from it is the cover, like the actual like thing I got like literally 15 years ago, or even more. But inside it, we have funny enough, Wallace and Gromit: Matter of Loaf and Death. I think this was my brother's DVD, which is why. But it's dirty and it's wrecked. And then we have 2 more films in here that are from the same sort of branding as this. They're just in here, I think, because they've just been in there. So that's that. But yeah, no, I thought it was interesting because those are not going to be in most people's collections. Then we got Spider-Man 3. I love Spider-Man 3. This is like the special edition. I think I've got... Do I have 1 and 2? I must have. It's actually really cool. You got the feature is red Spider-Man, but the special features is the black one. Cool. Then we've got Killing Eve Season 2. And then we got a DVD I got for my 19th birthday from my brother. It's a Mad World. It's a mad world. I needed to say it the correct way here. I have not watched it yet, but I will probably at some point. Next we got Cinderella, the special edition. I grew up watching Cinderella, so I had to own it, obviously. It's actually the specific one I actually owned as well. Then we've got Chungking Express. This is quite expensive now to get, actually, like this edition as well. I got it a few years ago because Chungking Express was one of the first films we studied in university. And yeah, obviously I have it in the Wong Kar-wai special restored edition, but it's cool to have it on DVD too because, you know, it's still, well, yeah. Yeah. Next we got a really great film with Audrey Hepburn, which is Roman Holiday. I actually really like this film. There's there's Breakfast at Tiffany's, which, by the way, really overrated. Didn't like it at all. I love the cover of Moon River from it. It's iconic. But this is the better Audrey Hepburn to watch. It's funny and stuff. We're gonna put this away into the special collection. Next, we got a film that was part of like the HMV classics. So it's got like a special case for it where it's like, you know, like it's the same. I was just checking. But To Catch a Thief, it's a Alfred Hitchcock film. But Cary Grant, I think at this point wanted to retire or stop making films. But somehow he couldn't because of a contract he had signed prior. So the company forced him to make this film. This is very, very reflected in the film because he gives absolutely no fucks while acting in this film. It was painful to watch because he just literally stands there and goes meh, 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 meh. So it's like the acting is zero, and honestly, who can blame him when he was forced to do this? But also, like, we're the ones who lost out. But funny enough, obviously, a lot of people still would, you know, obviously Alfred Hitchcock, so they'll consider it to be a classic. God, it's hard to be talking so long. Next, we got a musical, The King and I. So, fun fact, The King and I was remade in 1999 with Jodie Foster, and I love that film. Then I found out it has an original film called The King and I, and it's a musical. Watched it once, thought it was okay. I have a DVD of it. I don't know why, but it's not great, but it's okay. Next, we've got Marley and Me. I grew up watching this. I'm very desensitized to it because I've literally seen it so many times. Sorry. And then we've got The Parent Trap, which is just a great film. So the DVDs that I was hiding out like these were very special, are actually the Step Up collection. And yes, I do have the first one. It's just not here. I bought all the Step Up films, and I'm not even a super fan of Step Up, by the way. Number 2 is the best Step Up. It's the best one. But I thought it'd be funny if I owned all of them, and therefore I do. The biggest fuck here is this one, Step Up 3. Or I think it was called actually Step Up 3D. I think so. Moose is the best character from all these films. He obviously gets introduced in the second one. These two, especially the fifth one, we don't talk about. I think Miami Heat isn't terrible either, but it's not great. But yeah, I just thought it'd be funny to show you all them together because obviously really random. So I still got some to show you. Not a lot left though, so we're gonna quickly go through them. These are actually TV shows. So we've got the Sherlock seasons 1 to 3. Again, it was a few pounds, £3.50 right there. So obviously I bought it. I think it opens from the top. It's really awkward. But yeah, it's got all the covers separate, which I like actually because it could have just come in one thing. Yeah. I do have a favorite episode from Sherlock. I think it's season 2, episode 1. It's like such a great episode. I never finished it. Whoops. And then we have The Big Bang Theory seasons 1 to 5. This I found in some like lot sale, and you know, it's kind of like all the best seasons. So yeah, I have that now right here. So I'm kind of like getting really distracted. And then I remember trying to find Miranda. So I find Miranda 1 and 2 in the shop, but then I find Miranda 1 and 3 in the shop, and then I find the double pack of Miranda 1 and 2. So now I have 2 packs of the first series. So the third one's still in a wrapper. I bought Miranda on this because it actually gets quite hard to find online at this point because it's like from 2009. But this is like one of the best sitcoms ever, and she's a genius. The actress who wrote the show, Miranda herself, like she's a genius. Really like them, really funny, and it's just I had to own them all on DVD. So yeah, that is these shelves. Whew, this was a way longer video actually. I think it's just because I had way more DVDs to cover than the first time as well, but that was a lot of fun. I've got a lot of DVDs in front of me right now. We still do have a whole box, and I have to go through in the next part. Now, I am moving to an even smaller bedroom, unfortunately, where I won't have as much room again to display my collection. So I'm going to actually have to really go through it and pick the ones that I do want to have on display. But it was really fun just having all these here, just being able to go through these all. So I know that I said there's going to be 3 parts, but if you've watched it to this long, I think I might as well tell you that there's probably going to be a secret 2.5 part where I show very special section of my collection that I kind of think would be really fun to talk about. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like. Let me know in the comments what DVDs you have never heard of, or maybe you have heard of, or maybe some DVDs which you recommend for me to get. Actually, that would be really, really cool. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next part.